and I still stand by this point today. We've only, in all of the away games we've played, we've only had a convincing performance once away from home. That was the Bournemouth game where we won 4-0. Now, I'm not saying we need to beat West Ham 4-0. I think that will be an incredibly tough ask to do. It'd be nice, but it'll be unrealistic to think that. But we do need to show that we can be convincing away from home. We can come out of the London Stadium as the better team. That's what I want us to do, to win and be the better team.
Well, ask and you shall receive, I guess. Hello and welcome back to Gooner Gathering. My name is PoshBertie, poshest man in all of sports entertainment. And joining me, as always, is Gooner Gathering's founding father, a very sore throat Gooner Lee Meads from the stream yesterday. How are you? Have you recovered well?
You know what? I'm doing okay. I'm a little bit tired from the day job today as well, I'll be honest with you all. But I wanted to support the poshest man in sports entertainment, and I wanted to come in and say hello to all our Gooner Gatherers who are joining in their masses already. I can see them all in the chat here. AFC Always is already with us. Great result, but did West Ham turn up?
West Ham didn't turn up. I mean, yeah, it's true. It was a great result. West Ham didn't turn up, but at the end of the day, a 6-0 thrashing is a 6-0 thrashing, and I am so to this day now, to this moment in time, I'm still astonished by what we saw yesterday. Well, I saw the first 40 minutes live, and I had to go and see the family, and then I came back, and it was suddenly 4-0, and it's just. It's crazy. It really is. We smashed them, says Spencer. Good to see you, Spencer. Can I just say, Spencer, if you're free, I can send the link over to you. If you want, take some more, make Lee rest a bit more with his voice today.
I mean, they heard me for 2 hours yesterday, mate, so they probably don't want to hear me too much more.
Yeah.
To be fair, they're all here.
Spencer says West Ham turned up, just weren't good enough. They turned up to play, you know. They came to play, in the words of the Miz, but they just didn't play well. It was a squash match. Never bring a hammer to a gunfight. Absolutely. Sure. We had the pistol. No. The hammers that they had, it was like one of those soft whack-a-mole hammers. That's what they had. Mahir Topal says, hello, still sitting in the office. Okay, no worries, mate. All right, let's get on with it, shall we?
Let's do it.
Yeah, what did you think about... What were your thoughts going into the game before the scoreline? What were you expecting? Were you as weary and as cautious as I was?
Not at all. Not at all. I was confident. And that's how I've been. That's how I am. Hello, subscriber Sam Greenwood, who's new subscriber to our channel. It's nice to see you there, mate. Arteta masterclass, inverting Ben White after 25 minutes. Let Odegaard get space in the number 10, open West Ham up completely. Yeah, I think it's about right. I think it's about right. I even during our preview show, you can look back on it. It's still on the channel. I felt that we have far too much in our attack to come out with a really good result against West Ham. And yeah, I know they beat us a couple of times already this season. I don't know. I just felt that after our winter break, right? I felt Arsenal looked energized. I thought they looked focused. And they looked like they were, in business. And maybe we're talking about them being a little bit defensive, maybe a little bit conservative, maybe not as exciting as with the play as they had been last season. Coming back after the break in each of the games that we've played, and that's 4 games now. They've done very well. They've done very well. and it's very encouraging to see.
Yeah, my worry was after we beat Liverpool 3-1, which was a good win for us, obviously. I just thought it'd be the most Arsenal thing to ever happen if we beat Liverpool and then we go in full of confidence and prosper and we go and get humbled by West Ham. You know, it'd be very typical. That wasn't the case. And now I don't know about you, we've scored the most in the league from set pieces. I saw that stat. Declan Rice, I mean, he's good at everything, but he takes corners as well.
Yeah.
You know, he's a man of many talents, which we'll get to in a minute.
Yeah.
When I saw the team sheet for the game, it made me a lot more nervous than I was going to be, because I thought to myself, hang on, Jorginho had the game of his life against Liverpool. He's on form. And you're replacing him with my favourite player of all time, not Kai Havertz. That's strange. That's a bit questionable, because you think that Jorginho would bolster our midfield a little bit. And when you have a West Ham team that has attacked against us in the past, it was a questionable decision. What did you think about that? Because no one talked about that much. They just focused on Trossard being up front, which was good, but no Jorginho. What do you think of that? I
initially would probably have agreed with you, because Jorginho was fantastic against Liverpool, and I've said from the very get-go, you can go way back to January transfer deadline day of last year when I was singing the praises of one Jorginho. But Arteta did explain prior to the match,
of course,
that he did pick up a bit of an injury. Not too serious. The fact that he was named as a substitute obviously meant that he was there in case of emergencies. You know what I mean? Like a break glass kind of situation.
Yeah. Break glass? Steve Austin's not an Arsenal player.
No. But I thought we had a stunning performance.
There we go. It was very much a squash match, wasn't it?
Can I just say thank you, Mahil, for the offer of helping us out. Maybe another time we'll throw a link to yours. If you drop me a message on the Gooner Gathering Twitter X page, maybe another time we'll do that. We'll get you on the show, no problem.
Sam Greenwood says Arteta learnt from last season. Well, we'll see about that. We are gaining momentum now at the right time. Timber coming back is a big bonus too. Look, the season's not over yet. We've still got a long way to go. And yeah, Timber is coming back soon. Hopefully, probably, I'd say around March time. I saw
if we're lucky.
I saw a tweet that in a month's time we could have no players injured. Yeah, and you know, I could go on a date with Margot Robbie. Well, you know, it's just it's all hypothetical, and you just know that we're going to get an injury when that month comes. So
we'll see. The chat's getting excited, isn't it, mate?
AFC always says, since the winter break, Rice took over with the set pieces. Absolutely.
He's been brilliant on them as well, wasn't he? Let's be fair. He absolutely shined yesterday. Not just the set pieces, all-round performance, absolutely superb. I've got to say, I would completely respect how Rice performed and how he almost downplayed the celebration when he was on the field for the goal. We'll get to all the goals and everything in a bit, but he was like a Cheshire cat on the bench when he was sitting down. I've got to say,
and
my
it
goodness,
rattles all the West Ham fans, and I bloody well love it.
Yes.
Wow, the chat is heating up. I'll answer your question in a minute, AFC always. I'll save your question for a bit later. Niall Kane says, let me just get through the rest of the chat. Niall Kane says, that sends a message to Man City and Liverpool. Great win for Arsenal. Shame we didn't get the 7th goal to go second in the league. I would have been drinking a can of 7-Up if we did that. But
do you know what? If we had hit 7, that would have equaled our best ever away win, and that would have been a game I remember very, very clearly in the European Cup Winners' Cup in Belgium against Standard Liège back in the day when the Arsenal side of the 90s were missing Ian Wright. Absolutely incredible. AFC always is correct. We could have won by 12.
There were, you know what? Even though obviously West Ham conceding 6, there's no excuse for that as a goalkeeper. But there were times when Areola, the West Ham goalkeeper, pulled off some decent saves. There was one from Trossard at almost the start of the game. But in the first few minutes, it could have been 10. It could have been 10 or 12. It really could have. And
I'm not sure I could blame the goalkeeper for the majority of the goals that went in. The only one I'd really look at is the penalty kick.
When your players aren't turning up, you're in a it's a one-man job, really. Rice has been our player of the season. I completely agree with you there, Sam. Niall Kane, Arsenal need to go to Dubai more often because it's working wonders and a treat. Listen,
do a quick week out there before we go and play Burnley. Can we do that?
Yeah.
By the way, I want to just hands up, by the way. Clearly, I got my dates wrong when I was doing the chat along, so I'll admit that. And I thought we were playing Porto this week. It's not. It's next week. So
I thought we were at home to Newcastle next week, actually. So, because I mentioned that in the previous show, but it turns out we got Burnley away. So I got my dates confused as well. You're not alone there. And AFC always says, question: 14 games left to go. How many wins can you see Arsenal winning? I say about 9, maybe 10. I don't know the exact order of our fixtures, but I do know that we've still got tough fixtures to play. Away to City, away to Tottenham. I keep mentioning.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I think you've covered it.
We got to go to Old Trafford as well. I think that's second. Our penultimate game of the season. I think we go to Old Trafford, and some games. This is home to Luton. We should be winning. Away to Sheffield United, we should be winning. I know this will come back to bite me, but on paper, we should be winning those types of games. I don't know. I mean, Burnley next week, we should be winning. So look, I don't know our full fixture list, but
what I will say to AFC always is what I've been saying pretty much consistently is that I don't tend to look too farther forward. If you understand what I mean, because you can only really focus on sort of one game at a time, right?
Yeah.
And like I said to you all on the preview show, I thought, well, mine completely set on what we're going to do to West Ham, and anything else that goes on around us, with positive, negative, we'll just take it as it is, because the Premier League is a marathon, it's not a sprint, right? And Bertie, you're absolutely correct. Big away games for us coming up.
I think back to back as well. I think, is Man City Tottenham back to back? I don't know. I think it's
Give
in
me
April.
a second, and I will just double check on the fixture list.
I think it's Man City away, Luton at home, and Tottenham away. I think that's what that's the 3 fixtures in April.
Check that out for you, mate.
I think that's what it is. I can't really remember, but all I know is that we've got very tough away games in April.
I'm on it. Right. Okay. So let's go from where we are.
Yeah.
We've got a nice little gap actually, because we play on Saturday. It's a 3:00 kickoff. So unfortunately, it's not an on TV game. So but away to Burnley. Tricky away game at Burnley. Then the Porto game in the Champions League. I don't know if you're going to be able to do this, Bertie. You might be able to. You mentioned Newcastle. That is coming up on the next weekend's Premier League fixtures at 8:00
kickoff. I think
8:00 kickoff on TNT.
All right.
And then we're looking into March, where we're talking about Sheffield United, Brentford, then the return of Porto, and then I'm not going to go too far forward now. Chelsea, and then Manchester City sees out March on the 31st.
Okay, so
TJ Warren, welcome, sir. Thank you very much. Nice to see you, mate.
Good to see you, TJ. 15 out of 15 incoming this weekend.
Come on.
What's he on about there?
15 out of 15.
Oh, five wins in a row, 15 points from a possible 15.
Absolutely, that's maths.
Sorry. There you go. Quick maths. The chat is. We've not even discussed the goals yet. The chat's flooding in with comments. Do you think it was the right choice?
I love it. Thank you, guys.
Do you think it was the right choice for Saka to be man of the match? I mean, a lot of our players played incredibly well, but I think it should have been given to Deckers rather than Saka. But not taking anything away from Saka's 2 goals. I think he did very well.
So many arguable players for man of the match over the weekend. Trossard, who, is kind of your gimmick, to be fair, mate. Trossard had a great performance, had one of the goals of the game. Ødegaard, with his performance as captain, had over 100 key passes and 2 assists in the game. He was fantastic. One of his best games of the game. Ryan's here as well, Mr. Arsenal Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us, my friend. Nice to have you with us. My goodness me, it's a busy one tonight. But let's be fair. I don't think there was you could put an arguable case up for absolutely everyone, apart from maybe Raya, who could have just sort of left the pitch as early as he wanted to.
He could have got his deck chair out and just had a relax on the.
Yeah, exactly. Shall we get into the goals, maybe, Posh?
Absolutely. I was just trying to figure out how you do a poll on YouTube, like Fran does, where you can vote for your man of the match. But I don't know.
Just pop it in the chat, guys. Just pop it in the chat. Obviously, there's lots of opinions. TJ wants to go for Declan. AFC always wants to go for Rice was my man of the match.
Ødegaard.
Trossard was incredible as a false number 9. Who was false number 9? Let's discuss that briefly, shall we? Because I rather thought Havertz was right up there. Trossard, I felt, was quite deep.
The only criticism I have is Cedric got game time.
Cedric did well. He did solid 7 out of 10 for me for Cedric. He did fine, no problems.
All right, he did.
I'll tell you what I want to say about Cedric.
So good.
I'll tell you what I want to say about Cedric.
Go on.
So the fact he came on as a senior pro, looking out for the lad in front of him, Ethan Nwaneri, I thought that was really, really smart. Because you have 2 guys there at differing ends of the spectrum, okay? Young Ethan, that was only his 2nd Premier League appearance. And Cedric, you might take the mickey out of me a bit. I don't care, honestly. What I will say about Cedric is he's been around the block a few times. He's in his 30s, and he was there to give a bit of guidance to the young man who's just making a start. So, fair play. I thought he did good. I think he did very well.
Sam Greenwood, Ødegaard created a new Opta record yesterday. 108 completed passes. Ødegaard was very good in that game, and he is Sam Greenwood's man of the match. Right, let's talk about the goals now. So, First of all, Trossard had a chance. We could have gone 1-0 up early on. But it was a good save from Areola, the West Ham keeper. So we could have took the lead early. William Saliba, header from a corner. Was it Declan Rice with the corner?
Yes, sir.
I mean, our set pieces this season have been brilliant.
It even said in commentary from Sky, Arsenal prior to yesterday's game had scored already 10 goals from set plays from corners. It's funny how that has come into our game. It's almost like it's a throwback to the 90s when I started watching, when you had Stevie Bowl flicking it on and Tony or someone else hitting the ball in. So look, it was a great performance. The Rice's set play was all day was really, really good. I think West Ham are going to be very upset with how Saliba, managed to outmuscle the two defenders around him, because he was strong. Some people, and I've seen some other streams other than my own today, some people calling for a foul either on the defenders or whatever. I just thought he was strong. I think Ben White caused a bit of a distraction around the play. But Saliba, we often look at him, and he's only 20-something, 22 years old, something like that.
Yeah.
Goodness me, we're going to have a good time with that young man in our defence. I'll tell you that much.
Well, let's hope we perform well and he doesn't say, I want to win trophies and goes to Real Madrid then. Let's hope he stays that way.
Don't be saying things like that.
No, Saliba hopefully is here to stay. AFC always says, people say Odegaard is best player in Europe. Not for me. He's good when he turns up, but he's not in the whole of Europe, in my opinion. But he did have a good game yesterday.
Can I just say, and I know the criticism does come in. Goes to God. I think sometimes he's been referred to.
Yeah.
If you look at his all round stats, they do compare well with other people in Europe. You can have your own opinions, guys. That's absolutely fine. But I like Odegaard. I really like how he plays. He might be, as a captain, he's an interesting choice, and he's been obviously captain for a little bit. But
there are better options, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, probably. Totally agree. Totally agree.
Maya
High's with us now as well. Hello, Maya High Hotspur. Welcome to you. We are doing great, my friend. Thank you for supporting us again, like you always do. Much appreciated. Goodness, my voice is going croaky after only 20 minutes.
Made it worse. Yes, we're doing fantastic, Mile High Hotspur. It's because we support a team that actually turned up this week rather than scrape a defeat by the skin, a win by the skin of our teeth over Brighton. But no,
has always been very nice to us. Yeah. Be nice to them, please.
It's good to see you, Mile High Hotspur, in the chat. I agree. This is what I always constantly says. Deckers should be our captain, in my opinion. I know he's just joined, but I think he's more of a leader.
I think he will be eventually, guys. I really do. But
so yeah,
you don't necessarily need the armband to be a leader.
It helps, but I think
it does help.
I don't know. I think I know he's just joined, but I think Rice is a better choice of he's more captain material in my opinion. So second, I'll leave you to relax your voice, well, for a bit anyway. We then got a penalty. Now, Saka got, was it Saka? It was Saka who got fouled in the box. And at first, the commentary on Sky said it's a penalty, but I didn't see the referee point to the spot unless I'm going really mad. And
you were listening to me, actually, weren't you? Surely.
Both. It's all love, brother. Things are panning out for an interesting and very important North London derby in April.
Not wrong there, mate.
We were just talking about this. It could be make or break for, well, mostly for us, really. Depends on what situations both our teams are in. Did he point at the penalty spot?
Yeah, referee gave it. So let me clarify to you.
How did he point to it? And I thought he was gonna, when he got his card out, I thought he was gonna book Saka for diving. And this is when I thought, oh, referee, don't be so. This is when I was going to blame the ref if we collapsed there. But no, it didn't.
Referee was very clear. Referee was very clear, and I said it in commentary. The only doubt that there was here, Trossard, it was a bit uncharacteristic for us, I felt. Trossard with that big old ball from just about halfway, managed to Saka managed to beat the offside trap. The only question was whether VAR were going to give it because they were checking for the offside. And the other thing I did mention was that you don't actually see the lines that when they draw it, that you only see that like the final outcome, if you like. And yeah, it might have taken a little while. It certainly felt like it took an eternity when I was doing the live. But fair play to the referees because they came up with the right decision on this call. And for the yellow card for the goalkeeper, I thought was right as well, because back in the old days, that might have been a red card for the goalkeeper, right?
Okay.
But because they've brought in another thing, and this is probably a couple of years ago now, whereas if your goalkeeper is your last man, you're not necessarily going to get the double jeopardy kind of situation where you're going to get the penalty kick for the attacking side and the red card for the goalkeeper. No one wants to see red cards, particularly. Goalkeeper Areola didn't deserve it, to be honest. Yeah. He was trying to make up for the fact his defence went AWOL. But you know what? Yeah, fair play. And I'm pretty sure you want to talk about what happened last season, I think April.
Yes.
Go ahead.
You said last season that Xhaka getting involved with one of the Liverpool players.
Trent.
I remember who it was. Trent. Okay.
Trent Alexander-Arnold. Yeah.
Very clearly. Was the moment we lost out on the league. I think the moment we lost out, the pinpoint moment was when Saka missed the penalty against West Ham. I coined it as our Slippy Gerrard moment.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
But
you're going to be surprised with me here. I'm going to agree with you. I agree with you. It was a painful moment. I remember doing the commentary with you. It in fact invaded my brain space as I was talking to everybody live yesterday. I remember it very clearly, and I remember how elated we were after 10 minutes of the game last year. I certainly got carried away. I know I did. But
absolutely.
But
I don't want to go. I've seen your comment about. I don't want to go off topic, but fantastic result for Leverkusen on Saturday, and
fair play to them. Fair play.
That's it's going to break a 10-year deadlock of Bayern Munich winning the titles as it stands. So that'll be very interesting. And the Harry Kane curse. Maybe we shouldn't have signed Harry Kane because then we'd end up. We're going through a bit of a trophy drought at the moment, but we could have if Harry Kane stayed with us from the academy.
What are you talking about? We've already won a trophy this season.
Oh yeah, we won the double, haven't we? Emirates Cup and Community Shield, and
the MLS Skills Trophy.
All right,
don't forget that one; it's very important.
So
obviously, I'm being sarcastic, especially AFC always. I know you're there.
So Declan Rice, was it Declan Rice who took the free kick for the third goal? Whipped. He's not just good at corners; he's good at free kicks as well. Whipped a good ball in the box for Gabriel, and both our centre backs scored, and it was 3-0 to the Arsenal. The camera panned on Havertz. I saw on the highlights.
I got confused,
and I thought, I was actually driving, so I wasn't watching, obviously, because that would be very incredibly dangerous, and I wouldn't be here today if that happened. I bet a lot of people thought Havertz has just scored, but it was Gabriel. That was a good header, wasn't it? He is underrated, says AFC always. I think he's been one of our most consistent players this season. What do you think?
Brilliant. Gabriel, it really interesting stuff with Gabriel come out pre-match about why he was missing at the start of the season. Did you see all this, Posh? About the Saudi Arabia link and the fact that maybe look, I think we talked about this right after the Forest, that maybe his head had been turned a little bit, and it sounds like he had a nice chat with Mikel, and Mikel was trying to explain to him how important his role at the club is, whilst also sort of exerting his authority, I think I want to say. You might disagree with this, Posh, and you're quite entitled to.
I'm still baffled by it. I mean, if he wasn't going to leave the club, I don't know what he... we turned down...
I don't think he was quite in the right mindset, I think is the case. But be that as it may, the fact that he's still there, I love Gabriel. I think he's brilliant. Didn't I send you something about on the stats pack about how many goals that he'd scored just recently? For a centre half,
he's got 3 goals in 4 games or something.
It's extraordinary.
We've got the wrong Gabriel up front.
Hilarious. But let's just be grateful for the fact that we've got the pair of them. We spoke about Saliba already. Gabriel next to him. The fact that Gabriel's a little bit older than Saliba, they both work with each other. However, they're both going to be a partnership for Arsenal, I believe, for the next 4 or 5 seasons, I think. And
I don't like to compare players to legends gone by. I remember AFC always said this. After the Man City game, I think he compared Saliba and Gabriel to a modern day Toure and Campbell.
Amazing.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
That's the closest we're ever going to get to that partnership.
Yeah. I mean, my head obviously is someone slightly older will go to someone like Adams and Bold or Keown or someone like that. But none of them guys had the ball playing ability as the 2 guys that we have in play right now. So and great point there. We'll get to Saka in a bit, but yes, equaling the 50 goals that Frank Stapleton did in 1978. Yes, absolutely right.
So I can talk a bit more about the 4th goal. You can rest your voice as I keep promising you, and you keep on talking because I have to get you to do it. Leandro Trossard got the 4th goal for Arsenal. It was a lovely finish as well. It was great. 4-0 up at half time. We were in absolute dreamland. I was expecting a really, really tough away game. I said a lot of Arsenal fans are underestimating West Ham at home. They're going to be up for it. They're going to be really good. Anyway, we were 4-0 up at half time. I mean, this is when you knew. Was this when you thought, what in God's name is going on? And you are banned, sir.
Goodbye. Thank you for doing that.
But yeah,
absolutely no need for that. Sorry, chat. If you saw what was just posted, we don't
think that went on our Twitch. Actually,
was it on the Twitch? Fair.
I think it might be on the Twitch.
Well, okay.
Anyway, Trossard's goal was very good, and it was 4-0. Surreal.
Brilliant. One of the goals of the game. Funny enough, I thought the way that it was Ødegaard, I think, played him through. Yeah. Ødegaard Trossard put it onto his other foot, and he curled that ball past the goalkeeper Areola. Absolutely sensational. What an incredible bit of play. That period, that first bit of the first half where it was still 0-0 and very, very cagey, right? Arsenal had all the ball and everything like that, we might have been getting concerned that they weren't doing anything with the possession. However, to get 4 goals in that small period of play, absolutely brilliant. And Trossard justifying his starting place, in this time. I do feel he was playing almost left side midfield position. I thought Havertz was definitely the further forward player, especially if you look for the Saka penalty where Trossard was and he played the big ball to Saka. But great goals.
Rice's goal, we'll get to Rice's goal in a minute. Yes, I agree. That was both goals were great, but I think the Rice's one was better. So we go into half time, amazingly 4-0 up in West Ham's own backyard. In the immortal words of our tribal chief, Roman Reigns, this is our yard now. And it was. West Ham had to acknowledge us big time. Although being 4-0 up at half time is great, but you know what I'm like? I'm the prophet of doom. You remember a certain game at St. James's Park in 2011?
Yes, I remember.
And I saw, Calvin Phillips has come on for West Ham. He's got to get some more game time after being left in the lurch at Man City. Could he have a cheek Tiote moment? Can you imagine? No.
I never.
Obviously, I wasn't that pessimistic, but we all remember that infamous game at St. James's Park. But I think we're a bit more. We were more reassured, I think, with who we had. We didn't have someone like Squillaci or Joan Juru in defence, didn't we? We had
no disrespect to them, to higher quality players there. I will say we're looking at Arsenal from a different generational point of view here, right? I think we're building on something pretty special here, whether it be this season or sometime soon in the future. I think this generation of players are a bit special, and believe me, I've seen a lot of players in this club, right? I've often stand by it, and some people might ridicule me, especially my established, wonderful broadcast colleague next to me. But look, I really believe in this lot. I really do, and I think there's potential there for a lot of really good lucha things to go on here. So that's another reference, just to make Posh laugh.
No, that was very good Arsenal things, hopefully. But
exactly.
Listen, we'll see what happens. We start off the second half as we started the first. We were in control, and okay. For me, this. Oh, okay. You'll. All right. So this should be Arsenal's front three from here. Could be. Jesus doesn't get injured again. So the fifth goal.
Here's the thing we have with Jesus, just to bring that up. Yeah. There's no need to rush him, is there? Absolutely no reason to rush Gabriel Jesus into coming back when you got Kai Havertz, who I thought was phenomenal as well. Don't you roll your eyes at me? I saw that.
I think Trossard is the better striker. I think
he might be a better. He might be a better technical player, but Havertz as the lead man, I thought that you can't deny. I thought he was really involved. He got everyone involved in the game. If Gabriel hadn't scored on that free kick, Havertz would have done, because he was right there with them. I thought he did great. Honestly, Havertz. It's not even a gimmick. All right, it's not even me doing an Eddie Nketiah thing. It's not, because I thought
he did all right. Yeah, I agree.
I thought he did a brilliant job. Even AFC always said, 29 was okay. High praise indeed.
Okay, so we'll. I wanted to get rid of the picture of Saka because I just wanted to see. Obviously, I got the T-shirt on.
You wanted to see me.
I've got my boy has scored.
There it is.
To make it 5. And
Do
yeah.
not go any further without plugging our dear friend Fran.
Absolutely. Goalarzo.com for all of your Arsenal merchandise needs for these excellent custom-made hoodies with Bukayo Saka on it. There's a couple of other Arsenal players as well you can get. Yeah, Fran is a fantastic person. I know she's obviously taking a break at the moment, but yeah, please check out her website and buy her merch. It's very, very good. Lovely, good material as well. Very comfy. Don't worry, I've got this.
I've got it, mate. I'm writing it.
Okay, but yeah. So, oh, there we go. Goalarzo.com. There we are. That's where I get my merch from. And yeah, 5-0. We started the second half off as we started the first. What did you make of Saka's goal? In lots of space, he was going to score that, wasn't he?
Absolutely. Here's the thing. Merce made a really good point. Saka's left-footed, right? So why the heck would you encourage him to just go in on his left foot and do that finish? I felt for Areola, the goalkeeper, because he was given no protection here. I'm not even sure he saw the shot go past him, to be honest with you. Who got the assist on this one? Was this Odegaard again? I can't remember.
I can't remember either. But
even so,
yeah.
Even so, Saka gets the goal here and second in the game. Unbelievable for a young man that he is to hit, 51 goals, something like 49 assists or something like that. Absolutely incredible, the stats that he's pulling up. Thank you for your nice words there. I saw the comment. Thank you for that. Fran will really appreciate it, and it will certainly be transpired over to her on our chat later on. Cheers for that.
And Palace are beating Chelsea 1-0 in the relegation 6-pointer between the two clubs. Are they actually?
Absolutely, and it's Lamela or Lamela.
Lerma.
Who scored the goal 30 minutes. I can't actually see it. It was Jefferson Lamela.
Yeah.
With the goal.
Wow. Okay. And finally, the goal number 6. And of all the players to score it, it was, of course, the man, the Arsenal legend that is Declan Rice. And it was funny because the ball went past a lot of our players. It felt like it was going to be a wasted opportunity to score. Out of nowhere comes Declan Rice. Boom! What a volley. Not a volley, but it was, what a first touch in the top corner. And it's 6-0. Declan Rice, of all people, he certainly made up for giving away that penalty at the Emirates against his old club. But he goes and
you don't hold a grudge, do you, Posh?
He goes and scores the 6th goal. Honestly, I cannot stay mad at that player.
Incredible.
He's brilliant, isn't he? He's blooming well brilliant.
Sorry, you got rid of that, right? Okay, yeah. Let's just say the controlled finish caught me absolutely aghast. I was almost silenced by that goal. It completely caught me off guard. It was great to see Ben White supporting Saka on the right-hand side here for that goal. It was Ben's interplay that led to the ball going back, that missed about 2 of them, but then from out of nowhere, from a player that Declan that looked like he picked up a bit of an injury just prior, put up a bit of a sprint and got that curling shot away. Goodness me. I mean, 6-0. What can you say? Brilliant.
I expected
mind-blowing
a tough game. And then this happened. I don't.
Yep.
It's AFC away says I thought the West Ham fans were disgraceful to Rice. Yeah, they were booing him every time he got the ball.
It's football, isn't it?
Yeah, because we Arsenal fans did that every time like Van Persie got the ball for United. You know, it happens. It's these things happen. It's you know, I've got nothing to add there.
Were they not quite kind to him when he was substituted just after the goal here when Mo came on? Because from obviously when I did the chat along, I couldn't hear the commentary off Sky. But from what I was reading, they said they gave him a pretty good send-off when he was coming off. So it is what it is, right? You know.
Yeah.
They're going to be upset. He was phenomenal for them.
Yeah.
Great captain. Led them to a European trophy last season, let's be fair. And, you know, we know what it's like to lose an important player to your squad. We've been there many a time, right?
Time and time again.
Fabregas, Van Persie, Henry. You could carry on if you wanted to. Nazari. But, look. It's what it is. Let's just say, with if they were booing Rice, it's only out of respect of what he did for West Ham. If you get me.
Yeah, well, look, these things happen when a player like leaves a club, especially when they go to like I don't want to say rivals because they're both from London, but when you go to another Premier League club as well, it is also a bit. Yeah, you do have to. I understand the fans for holding a grudge against that, but they gave him a good ovation when he came off, as from what I heard. So I don't know. I've got nothing really to add here. What I was pleased with was because we were 6-0 up, right? We were glad we can get away with resting players early, like we did with Rice and Saka, which I thought was a very good idea. And players like El Neni came on. And who came on for Saka? I can't remember.
Ethan Nawari?
No, he came on later. Let me have a look.
Reece Nelson?
Let's see.
I think that might be right. Reece Nelson.
Yeah, Reece Nelson came on for Saka, and your favourite, Nketiah, came on for Trossard as well. So, but I think the substitution that I was really interested in was, of course, the boy, Cedric Suarez, you know, coming back from being Wynn's dog walker to actually playing for us. Which, Cedric did come on, but one of the other substitution that was made. Now, I have criticised Arteta on many things. One of them is his inability to give youth players a chance. Against PSV, that was a dead rubber, and you had like 3 academy players on the bench. You could have given one of them a decent run in off the bench or something. But today, Ethan Nwaneri, 16 years old, came on 77th minute for Martinelli.
Did well.
Wasn't it great to see him in actually playing for us?
Like I was saying to you, like off air, right? You have to think with Ethan. He's only 16 years old. He was 15 when he made his first appearance against Brentford. Let's just say, look, what I don't want to see here is the case where you're throwing a youth player in far too early, and then all of a sudden we have a Jack Wilshere situation where a young man picks up a nasty injury, say, because he plays too much football, and it ultimately costs him his career and a long run in. With Ethan, I think he's been managed really carefully. You know, it's think 16 years old. Yeah, would we even think about playing Premier League football at that age? Christ, you don't get many coming that sort of young. There's only a handful that have really done that. So fair play. The young man's got good head on his shoulders. I like I mentioned back a little bit ago, the fact that he did come on with a senior pro in Cedric, right? Just to almost, I don't want to say babysit because that's disrespectful, but you understand what I mean when you have someone who's been around the block, almost to protect him, almost like to double up with him.
Yeah.
I thought made a lot of sense. I thought it was very smart.
Yeah. But yeah, we even had Cedric come on. And even I said, you know that we're taking the mick out of West Ham when we bring Cedric on in the 77th minute.
Yeah.
Cedric and El Neni. Good God
Do
Almighty.
not disrespect El Neni, by the way, because he's a good
I'm
player.
not. But it's rare to see him play for us this season.
He's this generation's Abu Dhabi, isn't he? Let's be fair.
Yeah. Just, I mean, I think he gets injured less though. That's the difference between him and Abu Dhabi. Oh,
With Mo though, when he picks up an injury, it does seem to be a bad one, doesn't it? And I mean, yeah, they extended his contract, didn't they? One thing, and I've said it before here on Gooner Gathering, right? I quite like the fact that he's been very involved in the young with the younger players. So he will know like Nawari very well anyway. He's been assisting Wilshire. He's been looking, with Pierre as well, with the younger element of the squad that's maybe doesn't get the headlines that maybe it should do. And that's possibly the reason why he's still there. He does a lot of work behind the scenes in terms of other stuff. Yes, and ultimately he's still on the playing staff. And while he's there, give him the few minutes. I felt quite comfortable getting El Neni a few minutes in this situation. It made sense to me. Yeah. Again, another senior pro in.
Yeah,
alongside some of the younger players.
Anyone on really, and it would have dented the scoreline really. Yeah. AFC always. I get that when fans boo their former players, but what Adebayor did when he ran the whole length of the pitch and celebrated.
Yes.
Does that brought back memories for you?
Yes. I remember. That's the thing. I never really rated Adebayor anyway, but there you go. It's another story for another day. But look. Yeah, you're quite right. Okay. What about this comment here? I don't want to see Cedric Kvyat, Zinchenko, El Neni, Jorginho, Jesus Nketiah at Arsenal. That's a bit harsh. Some of them names, isn't it? I think it's fair to say. I think we both were quite impressed with Kvyat over yesterday's game.
I think on this game he deserves a lot of credit.
Yeah.
I do still think that if we're in a left back crisis, we should put Kvyat as centre back and Gabriel at left back, because Gabriel can offer defensive cover without being inverted, and he can offer pace as well because he's certainly pacier than Kvyat. And Kvyat made a good clearance, didn't he? When it was 0-0. That's the centre back clearance. That is.
And a couple of really good crosses, I thought he put in for me. I thought he had a good game. Even I might not be Zinchenko's biggest advocate, right? But his ability on the ball is there. Tomiyasu as well. Wow.
Oh no. I'd love Tomiyasu. I'd keep him. I'd keep Tomiyasu.
100%.
And I think he might have signed a new contract. That's what we're hearing.
If it's not been announced yet, it's going to be. Tommy, I always say, I've said this consistently. I'm going to say it again. As a defensive option, he's been brilliant all season. Unfortunately, he's had a little injury, and of course, he's missed a bit of time away with the Asian Cup. But he's done well for Japan, and he'll come back with us, and he'll do well. Jesus and Tomiyasu are injury prone. Yeah, it happens.
Jesus, I understand, but I think he's better as a backup striker or support striker. Really, I don't think he's your out and out lone striker. Jesus.
Yeah, maybe that's something they'll look at in the summer. But I thought we did rather well without him actually. I actually don't think I thought of Jesus' name during the whole of yesterday's game, to be honest with you. I was just blown away by the performance of people that were out there. I think that in the words of Stone Cold Steve Austin, is the bottom line.
I thought you were going to say, in the words of Michael Cole, "Oh my, what a 6-0 win!" You know,
Be a bit underwhelming, wouldn't it? Really. But right, okay. Jesus has been out 4 times in 18 months with the knee problem. Yeah, and do you know what? Every chance it could reoccur. It happens when you have an injured body part, whether it's knee, hamstring, all sort of connected on the leg. Sometimes, so if you have an injury, yes, it's a bit difficult. And Jesus has had a problem. I researched this.
Well, fingers crossed. Let's hope this doesn't happen with Timber.
Exactly. The thing with Timber is a younger man, and you know, I really hope to see. You know, we talk about like the likes of Kvyat and Zinchenko. Who knows? I mean, Timber might come into that left back position. He did really well prior to that horrendous injury, and we all know how bad that ACL was. But you know, we'll see what happens. Thank you for that nice comment, AFC. Always been a fantastic show, as always. Presented by an absolute pro next to me.
Yeah, it's funny because I've been hosting and you've been doing all the talking almost. So
no, you ask the questions and I do. I respond. That's how it works.
Before we are going to wrap things up now, but before we go, it wouldn't be a Gooner Gathering video without us mentioning. They're almost our sister channel, really, because we feature on them. Wrestle Dogs, right? They are a good channel for wrestling content, and tomorrow they have a special guest on the show. Cultaholic's very own Andrew Hodkinson. Now, I know some of you will be like, who's that? Well, me and Lee, that's how we met through Cultaholic. And we know Andrew quite well, because we've had various conversations.
I know really well.
And for someone with a big channel like Cultaholic, for someone to give up his time to go on a smaller channel like Wrestle Dogs, his generosity is amazing. You got anything to add to that?
What I'll add to that is that when I was considering doing this, right, coming up to back in when I was Gooner Lee Meads on my Twitch channel, when I wasn't connected to any other channels, I had a great chat with Andrew. Funny enough, after I'd done a couple of laps around an athletic track round nearby where we are, strangely enough, it's a true story. Andrew is such a nice guy, he's such a friendly guy, and he, like Posh said, his generosity to us and to Wrestle Dogs, incredible. Make sure you tune into their stream. Have you got a time, Posh, for when Wrestle Dogs are on tomorrow?
I think it's I'll have to check. It might be about 8 p.m., 7 p.m. I think. We'll share it on share it on our community tab when we get the time.
Absolutely, we will do.
Right then, that is it from us. You can find me on Twitter. Oh, there's another comment. All right.
As always. Burnley away next. I've got it. Burnley away next. What your score prediction? 3-1 win for Arsenal, but lately I haven't got a prediction right. Says AFC.
Oh no, you're gonna bring a bad omen here. 2-0 to Arsenal.
Oh wow. Okay, you thought the same thing I did. It's almost like we know each other's sandwiches.
Yes. I think Burnley will. No, I was going to say they'll have a very low block, but they're quite attacking, aren't they? That's Vincent Kompany's style of play, and it's opened up a bit. No, I don't know. It's still, you know, hopefully our we'll put in a consistent away performance like we did against West Ham, but I think we'll win 2-0.
In terms of a prediction and stuff like that, do you know what? Let's just hold it a minute, because what we'll probably do, we will definitely resurface later on in the week. We'll certainly talk about team news from the press conference. We'll talk about everything that's going on prior to that, you know, on a preview stream. And then probably return, I would imagine, Monday next week to talk about the result, I would think. But again, check us on our socials. We'll drop the details, and whenever we go live, and as if by magic, my broadcast colleague brings them up. So, PoshBertie, where can they all find you on the X, please?
You can follow me on Twitter at PoshBertie. My Instagram is at BertieWanderless. I also run Gooner Gatherings Instagram account. Where can they find you? You can tell us where they can find you, and then I'll put the comment up.
Thank you very much. You can find me at Goonerly Meads. You can find us also on the Gooner Gathering official X account. I also take care of the TikTok account because I'm flash and I'm cool. In it,
Word
though.
life. Mahir Topal says he's going for 5-0. 11 goals in 2 games. Can you imagine?
Amazing. Can you imagine? And AFC always a comfortable win away against Burnley will set us up nicely. When we play Porto away, be a very hard game. Yes, it will be. I think 2 very difficult away games coming up in the next weeks or so. But let's remain positive, because since the winter break, 4 wins out of 4. Some very impressive football from Arsenal Football Club. Some great stuff from the whole squad, to be fair. Great performances all round. Reasons to be cheerful, methinks.
Absolutely. All right, I think that will be it. Subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and until next time, guys, take care.